gaffe in chief.
When you look at what's happened over the last week, was it a failure of intelligence, planning, execution, or judgment? We've all seen the pictures. We've seen those hundreds of people packed.
To help break this down, we brought in Jihadi Jaron. Tell me your expertise in this issue.
Yeah, so I've got a fair amount of experience here. I worked for 10 years at Trader Joe's in Westchester, and I played a lot of Ghost Recon growing up. Yeah! A lot of G.I. Joe as well, so I've got decades of experience, I would say, with what's going on with Afghanistan.
Probably as much experience as the people who are in charge.
I don't have that answer to that question.
Yeah, maybe more so, I would think. It really is a shit show over there.
It's totally disorganized. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. It's an enormous operation. There are many different nationalities involved.
Well, I feel like there's two separate issues. There's the fact that we've been there for 20 years, and I think most Americans want it out. And then there's the way in which we pulled out, which was like a messy, sloppy person who was trying not to come inside their girlfriend and just came all over the house.
There's plenty of blame to go around. We can go back to wherever, to Nixon, to Bush. Like, I mean,
in the deep state.
This, the leaving part is a separate issue, and that has to be laid squarely at the hands of Biden and the clown show that's running his administration.
We're aware of congestion around the airport. We are working closely with the Department of Defense to facilitate safe and orderly access.
To go ahead and say that this is some crowning achievement, like suddenly he's this brave hero to pull us out. I mean, I feel like these are the same people that said, well, I mean, basically this is Trump's victory then, right? Trump was the one that committed us to leave, but then they're also blaming Trump for the shit show of pulling out and having what's happening over there now.
I inherited a deal that President Trump negotiated with the Taliban.
The Trump administration made it much harder for the SIV applicants, and I think Stephen Miller was like the architect of really putting the pressure on.
I'm staring at your boobs.
That's right.
I'm hoping we like pull out of Guam and the Philippines and anywhere else we can sort of concede territory or a war.
I feel like I could get anything I wanted right now.
I'm all for this. So anyway, what were you saying?
I was saying, I don't think the Trump administration is known for its welcoming immigration policies. So I don't know that it made anything easier. And I'm kind of a bleeding heart liberal who believes that, I thought I was anti-war.
You're not anti-war.
No, I don't.
I mean,
what's the balance between being isolationist and being interventionist or imperialist, and how do we Biden was saying that we didn't piss off our allies, but they're openly saying that they're pissed off at us. Pissed. On top of it, we have a president who we've openly been saying for years on here now that I think he probably has dementia. Whatever is happening, like the press conferences have been insane.
The general, I keep calling him a general, but my Secretary of Defense. The first part of your question was, I can't remember now.
It's like he gives a press conference that's a disaster. He talks to Stephanopoulos. That's a disaster.
Afghans falling.
That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
What did you think when you first saw those pictures?
What I thought was we have to gain control of this.
But can you imagine if Trump said something like, oh, that was 4 or 5 days ago? So callous.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
There's a parachute joke in there, but I don't think I can make it.
Jaron's like, if they were planned,
they would have had parachutes. These people would have had parachutes.
But anyway, used the American parachutes we left.
But I mean, it's tough to not joke about.
Does anyone know what the is going on?
I did not, nor did anyone else, see a collapse of an army that size in 11 days.
How can the deep state exist if it's this incompetent?
Yeah,
I would expect more from the deep state.
And the answer is no one knows what's going on. Like, you're right. Like, it's natural to want to respond with like sadness and anger and outrage and blaming people and how do we make sense of this horrific event we've witnessed and are still witnessing,
and
then the
part
mixed,
of.
and then the mixed messages coming out of our administration, where you have top DoD officials and spokespeople openly contradicting the president's own statements from literally hours earlier. How Biden instills confidence in anybody is baffling to me. I feel like that's got to be a sign of some deeper underlying issue or maybe trauma. I mean, I understand in the absence of real leadership, people will look to the next best thing. And yes, I took that line, I think, from the American president or something like that.
People want leadership, Mr. President. In the absence of genuine leadership, they'll listen to anyone who steps up to the microphone.
We have sort of an approximation of leadership.
Hold on. When the dogs bark, you have to pause.
I'm hot.
Yeah.
I'm hot. But
You are.
this is my first time.
Hey. There's a third person here, okay? They're like, oh, we haven't done this one yet.
We gotta get on OnlyFans.
I mean, it's true that Biden seems a little discombobulated. Maybe if Jamie Spears has some free time, he can take over conservatorship of this administration. I feel bad for the vets.
Keep looking at your
It's
boobs.
all right.
I'm sorry.
I feel bad. This is why no one takes me seriously.
sorry.
And as they shouldn't.
Cover yourself up.
There's the one other point I want to just sort of get is that sort of crowd that like Biden fights back against the deep state. The media loves us to be in war. There's billions of dollars to be made. Everybody's getting rich. The answer or the counter to that is that money that's not being spent on war is still going to go into these sort of dark, shadowy recesses of government. People are still going to get rich. It's just going to be in different ways. This money's not going to suddenly be earmarked for progressive policies like curing homelessness or something like that. That's just not what happens, right? You can't beat some of these forces that are behind these decisions.
And that's why I'm completely hopeless. Well, that was a really uplifting take on things.
I have hope. I crush It Ghost Recon. And if anybody can get us out of this situation, it's me and my tactical crew. And maybe the guys on r/tactical gear on Reddit. Big shout out to them. Biden, if you need some help, call me. I can probably come up with a better plan than what they have going on now.
We don't have a complete picture, obviously, of where every article of defense materials has gone, but certainly a fair amount of it has fallen into the hands of the Taliban.
Where did you get that?
Taliban is having a fire sale on their new eBay store. Tactical gear available on the cheap. So I picked this beauty up. This is a level 4 ceramic plate rated to stop some serious rounds.
I mean, Biden leaving things behind in Afghanistan is like the girl who is leaving things behind because she wants like a second date.
Like her earrings.
There's bobby pins all over Afghanistan.
Like, call me, please call me.
Oh, you forgot your phone.
I could go on forever. Like now Al Qaeda's running security over there. It's tough. I don't know. I'm just, grateful I get to play Ghost Recon and
Thank you to the vets.
Yeah, thank you to the vets.
I feel like that a lot of vets feel like it was all pointless, and perhaps it was, but I don't think that should take away from your service.
Yeah, tremendous amount of respect for all the troops serving, and it served over there, and
the 7,000 who are now going back.
That are going back over there. My best friend Juan is a Marine, and we talk about this stuff all the time, and I just good grief, I'm gonna go play Ghost Recon.
Thank you for your service.
Of course,
Karen.
my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. You're just staring at my boobs.
I can't help it. I'm just a man.